Hello. Hi. You good? Oh yeah. It's just that we had a look at the specs and stuff. That what was the lady that rang yesterday's name?
Yeah, same girl.
Oh, was it? Are you the same girl that rang yesterday? Oh, okay. The 302 over 2 years, the savings, is that right? And the $100, that would be in a credit form, wouldn't it? Okay. So it would basically work out at, say, 402 over 2 years, which would be less than, say, $20 a week, or $20 a month saving, correct? Okay, and it would amalgamate everything under the one, or is that just power? Well, I just didn't see the point in having all the eggs in one basket. I mean, I discussed all of this with Tony from Trustpower last year. Tony, hi, how are you? Oh, good. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Walk in there and the wife goes, yeah, you idiot. Hey, just give me a quick call back. Obviously, last week in regard briefly about the savings that we're making with the Genisis Energy services as well.
Sure. It's all on YouTube if you want to have a look. And you know, he rang back over a couple of weeks, and we did all the numbers, all the crunching, and for the sake of $20 a month, it didn't seem worth the hassle of swapping over. Yeah.
Before I did this job, I was like, $20 a month, or I was in some situation, I think mine was actually less than yours.
Right.
It was $10 a month. And I was kind of thinking, well, what's the point? And I agree with you at first. I was thinking the exact same way. However, have you ever switched before? Because this job, it honestly takes 5 to 10 minutes to switch over. We do it all for you. So we basically go on here, we ask you all these questions. You kind of sit back and relax, really. We contact your provider for you. Yep. You don't really have to do anything.
So, because here are my other concerns. Is the like, for instance, we pay direct debit through to Genesis at the moment, and to us that was just an easy way of doing things. And over the last few years, it's just gotten larger and larger. It was, I think, originally $54 a month. Now we're paying $100 weekly. So, whereas it used to be $250 a month, no doubt it wasn't. It's now $400 because we're paying that much more. And being a direct debit, they just change it and just give us notice. We don't really have any. We don't have any say in that matter. To me, I don't see the point in. I mean, I get from your point, and by the sounds of it, you're a terrific salesperson, totally. But and I've got to give you your creds for that. I mean, every question we've come with, you've instantly counted, and it's beautiful. It's a skill. But
well, I mean, the thing is, just understanding where you're coming from here is, I did come to this job to save people money. I wouldn't be at this job if I wasn't. I'm not here to, I know I'm a salesperson.
Sure.
I'm not here to lie and tell people to, switch over because there's
oh no, I get that. I'm not saying any of the facts or anything are incorrect or anything like that.
Really?
Sorry?
What was your question, really?
My question was basically, for the sake of, and I know it's trouble-free for us just to say yes and you guys push all the buttons, but the amount that we owe Genesis at the moment, because it's being done through direct debit, it seems to have accumulated to the point where they do it over a yearly structure. So they take your yearly usage and they work out the direct debit over that yearly usage. So because they did that, what we used to have a power bill that was balanced and cleared every month. Yeah. Now they've let it accrue, so that we still, even after paying $100 a week to them, we owe them $600, $700 still. Do you get what I'm saying? Because they've done that over that yearly accruation.
What we do here, I don't know if it's different, but what we do is, so basically because you do this way of paying, you say per week, make sure you're getting your bills in on time and everything, obviously that works for you. We obviously have a similar system, however, what we do to make sure that you're paying the right amount per week, rather than obviously it accumulating over time and everything like that, is we get, if you were to switch over to us, we basically we have some financial advisors. So if you send in your last 3 bills, so basically they get an idea of what your usage would be.
So it's done over a 3 monthly term as opposed to yearly.
Yeah, so it's 3 months, but of course, you know, you could ask to do the yearly to make it completely accurate. And then basically what they can do is look at it, see what your usage is, kind of work out what's the best to be able to cover your monthly costs, what it would be per week, rather than, I know sometimes people will just say, okay, we pay $200 per month, and that kind of is the way they do it. What we do is we make sure that you kind of are on the right plan, you know what you're paying per week, and you know it will be able to hopefully pay your bill and potentially more. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does. I mean, like we pay through an automatic payment system, say for instance to Telecom, $45 a month, which is over and above the monthly rental. So, you know, every month or so we might cancel a payment because we know we're always in credit ahead of schedule. But that's through paying through an automatic payment or us being the creditor. But to leave it into another company's hands where they have access to change at will whatever they like through a direct debit form. And us thinking, you know, 3 years back when we first signed up or so with Genesis to do that, now after 3 years and we're thinking, you know, direct debit's great, we get 10% off, or if you guys 15% off, but we're still in that point, whereas if we just chose tomorrow to cancel, we've got $600 still owing.
Right.
So what would happen with that balance that's owing to Genesis tomorrow or today if we chose to, say, switch over?
Right, so just to completely understand where you're coming from, I think I talked to her last night, and it said on the bill, just because you said $600.
Sure. And just to clarify, I don't get angry with my wife. We discuss things, so I would never get angry with her if she chose to make a decision.
Oh no, definitely.
Just to clarify, because she said that you asked if I would be angry, and I don't get angry. She's my equal. You know, we're both each other's property, and I have no right to tell her what to do, and neither does she. So, you know, it's an equal footing.
Sorry if I offended you in any way of saying it, just because sometimes, you know, every situation is a little bit different, and sometimes I've talked to husbands, we've asked the same thing, you know, it's always a little bit different, and who kind of is someone sometimes more in charge of the power.
Yeah, well, that's I don't like money, as I think I said to you. Yeah, I think as I said to you, I don't like money. I give it to her, and that makes her happy because she likes it, you know. But at the end of the day, that's because I stuff it up. So. But that's all right, you know. She knows if she ever has a legal problem, you know, like last month, back in November, I got run over by a cop because I wanted to ask him. I wanted to ask him some questions on the side of the road. He chose not to answer my questions, get in his car and run away. So as I was chasing him down the road and gave him his ticket back under his wiper blade, he ran over my foot. So my argument was, whether I broke a speeding rule, does that give him the power to cause me bodily harm? Well, of course it doesn't, right? No. But I go and make an IPCA complaint about the cop, it just gets swept under the rug. In fact, his senior sergeant was the one that investigated the complaint, and by investigate I mean insult me and ignore all of my correspondence to him. That's what. So that's really independent as far as police conduct authority is concerned, isn't it? That they just hand it to the police to investigate the police, and you know it's ridiculous. I go to criminal attorneys, I go to legal systems, I go to public defender services, I go to court, and I argue a speeding ticket for over 3 hours, just because of the wording, because I know what the legal phrases and legal terms and customs, and it's a different world. It's a legalese system. What you think the word person means, for instance, in English is completely different from what's written in any legislative act. Because the word person legally means body corporate, unincorporated body, or corporation sole. So if someone's calling you a person, which one of those three things are you? Because I know I'm a man. Do you get what I mean? So I can sit there and I will argue till the cows come home, because the word means argue, means to clarify, to make transparent.
Exactly.
And yet you're told all your life not to argue. Why wouldn't you want to clarify something? Why wouldn't you want to have...
along so well with my father.
I mean, literally, I pull out the... Yeah, and I will argue till the cows come home, which is why the cop sort of got in his car and ran away, because, you know, my question to the cop was, first of all, who are you? Now, the word you is a plural, isn't it? Legally speaking, the word you is a joinder word. It creates a joinder between the physical, three-dimensional man living in four-dimensional space and the person or the corporation sole or your capitaminuoso maxima, which is your capitalized name. All right, so you've got you yourself are a woman or whatever you want to call yourself, but you'd be a woman, I'm a man, and then we all have persons which are our natural persons or human beings that we function in a lawful society with, and then we have legal persons which are represented by our birth certificates that we act in commerce through, and the legal system, which is why you need lawyers to represent yourself as, you know, a person in that society. So when I ask lawyers, they say you're a person, and I know that the English definition of the word person is an individual within any given society. I then ask her, well, what society are you saying I'm a member of? You know, I know their words.
You've done heaps of research on that.
I have. I've spent because my wife's been stuck in a wheelchair for 3 years, so I stay at home, I look after the kids, I look after her, and I spend 12 hours a day on YouTube studying all sorts of things.
Fantastic.
So,
It's so good to be, you know, looking at, you know, more than just kind of in front of us.
well, I've got 3 kids, man, and they all sort of, they need to sort of be taught this, but the backfire is, of course, when you tell, when I tell my son or daughter, can you empty the dishwasher, they'll ask me for the contract, or they'll ask me who the hell is, or they'll say, who's this you character you're talking to? So it backfires, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's...
You know, it's been lovely talking to you.
Yeah, sorry, off the beaten track, but I mean, at the end of the day, because we've got that $600 overhanging with Genesis, we're concerned as to what would happen with that.
Right, okay, so just because I remember on the bill it said it was $400 and something in
Oh, okay.
so just to make sure.
Sorry, that may be different. It may be a couple of weeks.
I saw on the bill it was $443 in credit, so just so you know, I didn't know if that $600 you already knew about, or...
Oh, no. No, sorry, again, she knows the bills, I don't. Last time I checked it was around $600, so, yeah.
So it is $443.20 in credit you'll be paying. Obviously what I said to Leah last night was, you know, obviously this is a difficult situation for you to be in. I understand, I know what you mean, I've been in a similar situation before. What I can say to you though is that obviously this is accumulating, you know, you've noticed over the last 3 years. Yeah,
it has, and it's not getting any less, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, obviously to come over to us, you would have to pay that $443 to Genesis.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking long term. I mean, if you're keeping on accumulating in these and being in credit, and you're paying more for your power, it's just going to keep on adding up.
Well, what I'm actually slowly doing, and again, this is probably out of the normal box one lives in, is because I've built my own house and wired my own house and I do everything myself, and I've wired the house so I can slowly get off the grid. So I'm actually working at doing solar paneling, and when the power goes out round here in a mirror wire, that happens a lot. We get a lot of power cuts. I just turn on my generator, and I've got it wired I've got it such a way that I can just turn on my generator and run the entire house from a generator, 3 power inverters and 3 batteries, and that runs my entire house continually. So, you know, I would like to work it to the point where the money that we would save in some way would go towards the solar paneling, and of course eventually we would learn that way and not have to be sufficient on any grid. In fact, give it back to you and charge you for it. That would be, you know, more way.
Yeah, I know, that is kind of, I guess for a lot of people the dream, especially, you know, if you are having power cuts and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, you're more out of the way and things like that.
Oh, we have all the neighbours come over to use the internet and to charge their phone. it's annoying, but yeah, it's good. But yeah, you know, so we would have to have that shell out of what you're saying, $400 and something odd, and you know, we just don't have that
because you owe them that money.
Yeah. Well, that would be another question.
For you. I really wish I could do that for you, but unfortunately we can't. It's just, you know, from looking at this here, you know, if you're saving $302 over those 2 years, and you know, as you mentioned, that $100 bonus straight away, that obviously will help pay for that credit in the long term.
Sure.
And you know, down the line, you know, if you know, we have better deals and things, obviously, you know, you could hopefully be saving even more money. That kind of is the aim for you.
Sure.
Just to kind of get a clarification on this, would you still be interested in pitching this for? Because they can do it really quickly and easy for you. And, you know, I would just say, you know, to get it over and done with.
My only cruncher is, like I say, having to pay Genesis to clear that. Would we still? I guess what I'm saying is, do we have to clear the Genesis bill first before the transfer?
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, do we not have to clear their debt first before they will release transfer over? Or?
That is such a... What was your name, sorry?
I'm commonly known as Mark. I'm just a man.
Great, Mark. Okay, I'm Tika. So what I'm going to do is, just because that's actually a really good question. So basically, the credit, you want to see you have to pay before the transfer or when you'd have to pay it. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask my supervisor about that, because I've actually never had that question before, so I'm so glad you brought that up.
Well, it's just, to me it's standard. I mean, some companies, like if you want to swap over your cell phone service, they have to have the bill wiped first before they'll release it over.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a really good question. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly pop you on hold, Mark.
Sure.
I'm going to take time at all, and I'll just ask them about that.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
No worries. Remember, even while they've got this music playing, they're still listening. I'm talking to you with my finger over the mic, so she can't hear what I'm saying. How much is the interest accrued? It's always a good thing to pay off a bill at the same rate and speed, if not sooner, that the interest is accrued. Okay, so if you're getting charged interest on a daily basis, pay them daily, because the interest accrued over a weekly amount will never match, and you end up paying off far more interest than you will actually the debt. Food for thought.
Hey, Emma?
Yep.
Okay, so I just talked to my supervisor and we had a bit of a conversation about it. And just to be sure, does this mean that you have to pay them back or they have to pay you back? Because usually on the bill, if it says you're in credit, it means that they owe you money.
That's an interesting question, because it's the first time I've actually heard the fact that we're in credit with them brought up, because I was under the impression that we owed them.
If you usually say credit, it means they owe you money?
Sure, yeah, no, I get it. It's just I was to be correct, to be politically correct. I guess I'm saying I thought we were actually 400 and something in debt to them still, not in credit. So if that's the case, yeah, because I mean.
So that would mean that you'd actually be pushing over to us to be gaining money. So instead of
So they'd be paying us.
Get $443
back off of them.
your bank account.
That would be a good thing. Okay, well I'll check on that one and make sure, but. I don't. I mean, if it's just the power, because as I said to Tony, my only concern was the eggs in one basket, and if you're only talking about switching the power, not fine. But,
and so that basically you would have a month to pay that overall bill.
right.
And then a month after that you'd receive your first bill from us. So it's basically making sure you're never going to get double bills.
Sure. So if, like for instance, there's a lady that might have $50,000 health bill, and she can't afford to pay it, someone's going to close the house and take the car and everything. All she needs to do is put in writing that her fair and best offer she could make is $5 a week. And if the debtor, if the creditor refuses to accept any fair and just offer, then the debt's void. So you can get your bill wiped if the creditor refuses payment in any way, shape or form that can be proven to be fair and just. So say you're a seasonal worker and can only afford a mortgage payment 6 weeks of the year or 6 months of the year, as long as you give them in writing notification, then.
I'm going to remember that, Mark.
Well, and there's another thing. If you're paying a mortgage off, and the mortgage is accrued on a weekly basis, the interest, don't pay a mortgage payment in anything more than what the accruement of the interest is. So if the interest is accrued on a weekly basis, pay them on a weekly basis, because you're always going to end up paying more on the interest accruement over that longer period. if you pay them off the interest at the rate that it's actually accrued, you will always pay it off and save yourself about a quarter of the entire payment doing that. It all works out in simple maths.
All of this so that we can sort out the mortgage.
Well, yeah, so a mortgage is only a death gauge. The fact that you signed that agreement, that mortgage contract, then they go ahead and get a lawyer to come along and do it through an escrow account, so the bank has an arm's length. That you've actually paid for your mortgage the moment you signed that loan agreement, because that loan agreement has two signatures, and that is a promissory note. They then float that on the market and then sell the debt on, and they've already been paid, because they get paid through the trust. So the moment your signature is worth money, it's a promissory. Because there is no money. Money does not exist. It's only in the mind. You know, it's exactly. It's only a concept. Money is anything of value that one man values for another. That's the definition of money. So I mean, you've just got to offer something in value. You offer them, come pay their lawns for do their lawns every week for the rest of your lifetime. You know, they're considered value. So yeah. Lots of little tips.
You're clear now on what you were doing.
I am, and I think my next question would be to ring Genesis and ask them if we have a closing balance, what happens, and see what happens, and take it from there. But I'm quite keen on it, just for the fact that obviously we get a bigger discount, and even though, like you say, it's only $20 a week or a month over the 2 years, it's still a saving. It's that's a set of solar panels to me.
Because you do need to have a chat to them about that.
Yeah.
Is that I'll call you. I have a space free at 4:30, and I'll give you a call then. Hopefully after you chat to them, and hopefully we can get you signed up straight away. As once that's all clear for you.
Sure. Well, yep. Once I'll speak to them and make sure I've got all my ducks in a row.
Yeah, exactly. It's so great talking to you, Mark. I've met you lots on this call. It's usually me telling people things.
Oh, hey.
It's nice to get the knowledge from you as well.
Look at my channel.
4:30 today.
Look at my YouTube channel. Just type in CKA, which stands for commonly known as, and then Mark. It comes up.
Okay.
It's the first one. I've got
I'll remember that.
900.
I'll write that down now. CKA Mark.
Yeah, well, CKA Mark. But it's over 900 kids, because I record all the talks and interactions with kids. There's lots of humorous moments with the cops and lawyers and legal professionals and students sort of getting up and looking out for the country and all that. It's really fun. It was interesting.